the year 2022, and if you haven't heard of Adishwar Auto Ride India, well, AARI or ARI as some people call it, is the same firm that has brought in brands, motorcycle brands like Kiwi and Benelli into India. And now the company just of late over the last couple of months has introduced a new umbrella under which they have two more motorcycle brands. The first of which is Moto Morini, which has two motorcycles, two variants of each motorcycle, all 650cc motorcycles, parallel twin, awesome looking styling. This one, the X-Cape X, is the most interesting of them, and I'm here to sample what this motorcycle is all about today. We're going to be riding it out here at the Pro Adventure Park in Pune. We're out here to get some fun, kick up some muck, and check out what the X-Cape X is all about. So let's get to it.
The X-Cape looks like a nice, slick adventure bike according to me. It's got this nice big bike stance with the 19-inch front, 17-inch rear wheel setup, the fully adjustable upside down Masoji front fork, and the KYB rear shock not only add to the bike's substance, but also visually give you this reassurance that this machine is built to go places while allowing you to set it up as you please. You also have the 7-inch TFT digital instrument cluster, the adjustable windscreen, all LED lighting, the backlit switchgear, which not only look neat but also feel good quality parts too. An aluminum bash plate to keep the engine safe while you have some fun off-road, and even a couple of USB sockets to keep your devices up and running on the go. The Moto Morini X-Cape 650 comes in two variants. One is the standard X-Cape and the second is the X-Cape X. And the only things that separate the pair are the wheels they come with. The X-Cape 650 comes with alloy wheels, while the other, the X, gets spoke wheels. Also, the X's seat is higher by 25mm at 835mm. As soon as you swing a leg over the X-Cape, you'll immediately see how easy this motorcycle is to ride. The clutch, like the weight of the bars, is nice and light and easy to manage. The throttle response is good from the get-go, and even when it comes to braking, well, the brakes function predictably well with or without ABS on. The X-Cape feels nicely balanced at low speed while sitting, and it even gets better as soon as you stand up because of its narrow midsection. It's a very forgiving motorcycle if you were to make mistakes on, and even when you come to a halt on a tricky patch of road, it feels nicely manageable. It's a motorcycle that will manage your skill set very easily and urge you to try and get the hang of something new and ace it. So in that respect, it's quite a commendable machine.
Now I'm just done riding the Moto Morini X-Cape 650X. Well, it's a very capable machine. It's a lovely machine. Not only does it look good, but can you have a load of fun on this thing. You have the adjustable suspension, which I really didn't tweak around with this time. The seat height, it's very comfortable. Even shorter riders won't really find it to be a problem. You can really grip the tank nicely with your knees once you stand up and give it the beans. The engine, lovely once again, parallel twin, 649cc, 60 PS of power and around 55 odd Nm of torque. Nice amount of power, low down the power band. After 2000 RPM, that's when the fun really starts. But it's just such a simple, enjoyable machine. You only have two ride modes. You have ride and off-road, and you also have the option of switching off ABS completely and off-road mode. Not too tech heavy, just the way I like it. And just the right amount of equipment on this bike to really have some fun. Adventure touring, well, this is a seriously very nice machine. Now, although we don't have the price for it as yet, it's slated to be launched on the 29th of this month, September. But considering that this machine, which is sold abroad as well in Europe, it undercuts something like the Yamaha Tenere, the 700 and even the Tiger Sport 660 by some fair margin. Now, considering that the Tiger 660 does cost around 9 lakh rupees out here in India, well, this machine, if it undercuts that, man, you really have to consider this bike, the Moto Morini. It's a serious amount of fun.
I really like how easy the X-Cape is to ride. On smooth roads, well, it's no fuss at all. And out on off-road patches, if you get stuck, you can just rock it around till you get loose and you'll be on your way again in no time. It's a real hoot to ride overall, and definitely a motorcycle someone who's upgrading to and venturing into the mid-displacement ADV space for the first time should definitely consider. Yep, the incoming Himalayan 650 will definitely have its work cut out for it when it arrives out here. And for me, it's all down to this bike's pricing, because this is the one thing that can break this extremely desirable machine.
So after having a real ball of a time with the Moto Morini X-Cape 650 DX, well, we haven't really had a chance to have a go with the second bike that we have out here from Moto Morini. That's the Semetsu 6.5. But we do have the opportunity to check out the second brand that falls under the Moto Vault umbrella from Adishwar Auto Ride India. So this is the
350T Adventure.
350cc single cylinder motorcycle. There are 5 variations of this particular bike. Now this is the most adventure focused, you could say, version of this particular bike that we're going to be focusing on today.
The Zontes 350T Adventure looks like a mix of shrunken versions of a Tiger and a GS put together. But still, it definitely looks like a motorcycle that's bigger than it actually is. It's got all the visual traits of a proper off-road machine. The 19 by 17 inch front and rear wheel setup, inverted 43mm fork up front with a monoshock out back, a big beak, LED lights, wide bars, the backlit switches, big windscreen, the massive tank, standard crash guards, and a high upswept exhaust. Now, all 5 versions of the Zontes 350 bikes are eye-catching in their own way with their in-your-face styling and glossy color schemes. Now, all the bikes come with keyless ignition, where you have buttons on the bars that function the fuel filler lid, release the seat, and in the case of the 350T Adventure Tourers, also raise and lower the windscreen. You also get a 5-inch LCD color screen that reads out the bike's information for you, and you can even cast your phone screen onto it, which would be great for Google Map navigation. Other features include dual channel ABS, which can't be switched off, a standard TPMS system, and a big 90-liter fuel tank. Now, the 350T ADV might have all the underpinnings of a good, proper adventure motorcycle, and it definitely managed very well over broken surfaces of road and loose gravel and the like. But when I treated it to some fine slush and greasy rocks, I felt very let down by the tires. The tread pattern and even the rounded profile was more suited to road riding than off it.
Now, after a quick run with the Zontes ADV, this is the most adventure-focused motorcycle that the brand currently have in their 5 motorcycle lineup in India at the moment. Well, I have to say that although it has all the traits, the visual traits and the visual elements of a proper thorough ADV motorcycle, well, off the road, I'm not too sure whether it really holds up all that well, because first and foremost, a couple of bits. The wheels, well, they're proper ADV rims, but then again the tires that Zontes have on the motorcycle, well, they don't really suit the character of the bike, and they're off the road, especially in the wet, well, you can tend to have a lot of hairy moments unnecessarily. Second, the foot pegs, the rubber mounts don't come off, and you cannot really get a good grip with your feet off the motorcycle when it starts raining, and that also was a bit hairy. And I did have a couple of instances where I really thought I was going to lose it and crash the bike. Now, in terms of features, yes, it comes back to the gills. A lot of electronic stuff you have on there, but do you really want all these features? Well, that's up to you to guess. To me, it's not really necessarily. The electronic fuel filler cap, the keyless ignition, the seat that pops up at the push of a button. One really nice thing was the visor that adjusts at the push of a button as well. But yes, altogether it looks really good, but on the road I think this motorcycle is an adventure tourer at the end of the day, and it feels more suited to road riding than off it. It's a very comfortable motorcycle. The seat is nicely contoured. The tank, good enough to give you a good range out on the highway. Very comfortable.
The engine is a nicely refined liquid cooled unit with around 38 PS of power and 32 Nm of torque. There's a good amount of grunt all around the band, and the 6-speed gearbox feels nice and snappy.
Yeah, so a lot of nice bits on this motorcycle that cater to the whole adventure touring aspect. But then if you consider it to be an all-out adventure motorcycle, well, you might be slightly disappointed. A lot of unwanted bits, you could say, such as the crash guards. These mounts over here, they're metal. The tail number plate, the holder, that is made of metal as well. And even for instance, one bit that I noticed just while riding was the rectifier, which you can see here, slightly oddly located, stuff flying up. It could be prone to damage and it could just be lost. That's an important part that sends power to the battery and to the rest of the motorcycle. So if you lose out on that, you might be in a bit of a soup. Altogether, a very nice adventure touring machine. Not the best adventure tourer as of now. I still have to ride it. I think it would be more suited to like dry situations, like gravel roads and stuff like that. I think it would be like a lot more suited to that. But out here on the off-beaten path, mud roads, a lot of rocks and stuff, man, these tires, they're just a letdown, to be honest. I think you will want to put on a nice pair of knobbies onto this motorcycle to really enjoy it a lot better.